Welcome to Breakroombets, the channel dedicated to the sports talk that you have around the water cooler at work. I'm your host, Miles, and in today's video, it is our best bets of Week 4 in the NFL. As always, we're going to be using a $200 budget. We're going to place our bets through the William Hill Sportsbook app. But before we get into Week 4, let's see how we did in Week 3. All of our bets last week came down to the wire, except for the Falcons. I'm not betting on the Falcons anymore when they're on the road, no matter what. The other game we lost was the Cleveland Browns. I really just bet it because it's fading the public on Sunday night, and I've had so much success with it. But sometimes you're going to lose, and a team like the Browns is when you're going to lose. We went 3-2 again this week, thanks to Jamal Adams' late touchdown that got us that backdoor cover that I did not think we were going to win. We also hit both of our player prop bets. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Breakroombets to get our player prop bet before each primetime game. For the season, we're 9-6, and 2 of the 3 weeks we've made money. Let's try to do the same thing in Week 4. One of the biggest games this week has to be the Browns at Ravens. And in this spot, I'm taking the Ravens -7. We said it before this season started. A rookie head coach and a second-year quarterback. They were going to face some adversity at some point this season. The best version of this team would be a run-first team where you're going to pound the ball with Nick Chubb and let Baker Mayfield play off of that. Instead, there's been terrible play call, and Baker has missed some throws. And I don't think you're getting your running game started against the Ravens because they're the best at stopping the run. They also are number 1 in rushing on offense. And the real breakout star of this season has to be Lamar Jackson. They have an opportunity to almost put this division away, starting off 4-0, and no one else in their division would have one win. So I love the Ravens here at -7. We're going to throw $50 of our $200 budget on this game. The other $50 bet I'm going to make on the morning games is in the Raiders and Colts game, and I'm going to take the under 45 points. Derek Carr and the Raiders offense has struggled. They've scored the 4th fewest points through the first 3 weeks. And I'm following a trend here because in 4 of the last 5 games the Raiders have played in, the total's gone under. Couple that with a Colts defense and Jacoby Brissett, who's going to play at a slower paced game, doesn't turn the ball over, only has 1 interception on the year, and they're going to rely on Marlon Mack in that running game. This guy's 3rd in the league in rushing, and I expect him to get a lot of yards as the Colts are up in a low-scoring game. So let's throw 50 on under 45. That leaves us 100 left for the afternoon and primetime games. My favorite bet of the afternoon comes from the Seahawks and the Cardinals game. I'm going to take the over 48. This season, the Cardinals are playing at the fastest pace in the NFL according to Roto Grinders, so you know there's going to be a lot of opportunities to score. This is part of the reason they're giving up almost 30 a game. Speaking of defenses that are giving up a lot of points, the Seattle Seahawks, they've given up 26 per game through the first 3 weeks. Now remember, they played the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 0-3 week 1. Week 2, they played at Pittsburgh, where Ben got hurt, and they had a backup quarterback the second half of the game. And last week, they played the Saints, who started a backup quarterback. Kyler Murray probably has his best game, and Russell Wilson have no problem putting up points against the Cardinals defense. So over 48.5, I'm going to put $25 on this one. So I've got $75 left to spend on the primetime games. I'm going to look at Sunday Night Football and give me the Saints at home +2.5. I know it's been all smiles for Dallas so far, and Dak and that offense have looked great. But you have to remember, they've played 3 teams who have a combined 1 win. This is going to be their first real test, and they're going to get out-coached by Sean Payton in this game. Inside the Superdome, where you know it's always loud, most of the money is coming in on Cowboys. And on the Sunday night game, I always fade the public. So we'll throw $25 on the Saints +2.5. That leaves us $50 left for a Monday Night Football matchup between 2 terrible teams. I mean, this is a tough break for ESPN that they have to air this game. But in this game of 2 awful teams, I like the over 44. Now you might be wondering, how are these 2 quarterbacks going to score 44 points? They're both 0-3, but they're both in the top 10 in terms of fastest pace of play according to Roto Grinders. And these are two terrible defenses. They're 5th and 6th in the most points allowed. The only teams who have allowed more points this year than the Steelers or Bengals are the Dolphins, the Giants, the Redskins, and the Cardinals. This game kind of feels like the Panthers and Arizona game did last week. So I'm throwing our last $50 on the over in this game. To recap, here's how we spent our $200 for this week. $50 on the Ravens -7, $50 on the under in the Raiders-Colts game, $25 on the over for the Seahawks and Cardinals, $25 on the Saints plus 2.5 on Sunday Night Football, and the last 50, Monday Night Football, Bengals and Steelers over 44. Thank you for watching this video. Let us know what you think of our picks in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Hey, my break's almost up, so I've got to get back to work, but I can't wait to see you next week in the break room.